Good morning, my beautiful people. Today I wanted to address a topic that so often goes overlooked in not only mine, but I'm assuming many of our relationships, showing that the generosity that we receive every day is actually being acknowledged and appreciated on our end to our partners. Today is about that. I want to give a shout out to my lovely boyfriend. All right. Okay, so for the holiday season, my boyfriend, Zach, he got me this t shirt, and it is such a small gesture, but it meant the world. I know it didn't cost a ton of money, it's just a t shirt, but the idea that he supports this channel that I'm doing, and trust me, it has been an uphill climb. A lot of things regarding this channel, a lot of things regarding reasons I started this channel, and a lot of things regarding relationships that have disappeared since this channel's formation. So it's really important to me that I'm with someone who shows me that they respect me enough to know I'm trying and that I'm doing something, and that just because I am not falling in line or being normal doesn't mean I'm not going to contribute, doesn't mean I'm not going to create a fascinating life, and doesn't mean that I'm not going to give back to my partner in other ways that maybe we haven't explored. All of this to say, throughout this last year and a half, if you've been with me or if you're new to the channel, I've just been waking up, like going on this wake up process. It's real what they talk about the Matrix, the rabbit holes, and in Alice in Wonderland, or if you Wizard of Oz, like all of it, it's real. This is all, that's what I'm learning. Okay, so jump on the bandwagon if you will. But basically, this t-shirt represents somebody respecting me and caring about me and having empathy for going through things that he hasn't. And this is just a shout out to those best friends, those people who care enough about you. The people who love you genuinely and who will be there through thick and thin. I was always very cautious what words I would use about what people and who I would call my best friends and stuff like that. It took a lot more than me laughing with you over a beer to be my best friend. I mean, this stems way, way back, right? Just growing up, I knew best friends weren't easy to come by. They were the people who were going to be there at 2 a.m. when you were crying and everybody else was drinking. Like, there's a reason that some people stay with you that long. And I used to give this out a little more willy-nilly than I do now. I think now the gates to becoming a best friend of mine have pretty much closed. Not to sound jaded, but I have my reasonings. And of course I don't mean that actually literally, it's a hard process at this point, and I don't think many actually even care. So it's all good, right? But that's what I'm learning, is these people I called best friends or just friends don't care beyond themselves, and it's not even their fault necessarily. I mean, it is and it isn't, okay? Hear me out. Everything is a duality in this environment that we're being subjected to, okay? A lot of things are duality that should not be duality, but one in general is when it comes to this matrix, okay? Hear me out. We have to start understanding that it is not our fault, meaning humanity's fault, that we have been made nescient to reality. And nescient just means you were never given that information. Thank you, Mark Passio. I've learned a lot from you. Okay, my friend? I know you're going through a spell where you don't think you're doing much, but I'm telling you, just by waking me up, you have changed the world, and I know many others feel the same. Kudos, man, just for speaking truth. But I don't idolize anyone. I'm not idolizing him. I'm giving him a thank you and a shout out, and that is it. Because I've learned idolizing people is just the devil's work. Can we talk about that in a later video? Okay, but when we're dealing with this matrix, we have to understand that when we're made nescient to things, that is out of our control. We do not have control of situations that we know nothing of, okay? That's just, it has to be understood, because we keep blaming each other. We keep blaming each other for racism, abortion issues. We have ageism rampant in this country. We aren't understanding each other. We aren't listening. We aren't communicating because we're too busy being wrapped up in hate and fear and anger. So we have to get past that. And one way by doing that is being empathetic that everybody in this plane experiencing this world with you is also going through mind fuckery they cannot even imagine. Okay, we have to give each other credit. We have to become more kind. We really just do. And I think that starts with focusing on yourself. You can't change anyone. You will never change anyone. You can resonate with people and you can affect people, but you will never change anyone. They have to change themselves. It's what they say of addicts. Unless they want to do it, it ain't getting done. Okay? That's just point blank. Now, once we start realizing that, then we can hold people accountable, because in certain situations, you remaining quiet or you turning your cheek and pretending you don't see that homeless man, or pretending you're okay with the police in your community becoming more aggressive and militant, when you just become lazy to dealing with things like that, then you're ignorant. Because you are seeing that information. That information is being given to you, but you are choosing to ignore it. A huge problem with us in this world today is they have dumbed us down so much that we don't focus on what words mean. And we don't even know that the elite who run this country speak via symbols and numbers. We don't understand that because we speak with words, and we think words mean something for everyone. We think it has a blanket meaning. It doesn't. A lot of words have double meaning. A lot of it's double speak. You have to look into what's popular in the now. Like, look at the mainstream media, fake news everywhere. We all know. We know in our core that they're the fake news. We know mass media is the fake news. Even the people who buy into it, who are glued to something as awful as Fox News, they're sitting there enthralled by it, but deep down they know it's a lie. They're just buying into the lie. It's more comfortable to buy into the environment you're given and go along with it, because then you don't have to grow. But take, for example, the lobster. The only reason that they grow larger is because they get uncomfortable in their shell and it starts to feel confining. They get claustrophobic in a sense. So if they were like humans and just medicated by going to therapists and then being prescribed over the counters and getting hooked on big pharma, then they would never grow. Do you see what I mean? They would never become the full potential of what they can be. They challenge themselves to be vulnerable. They get rid of the shell they're in, find a bigger one, and in the meantime, they're exposed to the world and its environment. And we need to do that. We need to expose ourselves. And I feel like we're becoming such a manipulated creature. It's really, really weird. I mean, there's signs out there everywhere, anywhere you look in the media. Movies, music, advertisements, I mean, perfume ads. What the demonic shit is that, Chanel? Like, man, we are living in a time, y'all. Like, you can brush some stuff off, you absolutely may, but just know you're being ignorant. If you do not want to do the research, if you don't want to find out why you are really here, because trust, it is not to go to your 9 to 5. It is not to work 40 hours a week plus. You know, it's not to cash that paycheck, which, by the way, when you think of paychecks, how sick is this? Okay, so you're giving your time to a company, okay? So you're giving them your time. In turn, they pay you with fiat currency. That means bullshit. It's nothing. It is not worth your time. I don't care what you make, okay? It's fake. But they pay you with that. But they don't even pay you for your work. They give you an IOU, and they send you a check weeks later. Okay, you feel me? You're leaving entrusting that a company is going to pay you at a later date. You are leaving with an IOU. Just let that melt in. And if it's not hitting you like a blow from Bruce Lee to your throat, then you're not hearing what I'm saying. Okay? And I can say stuff like that because I was you. Okay? Things didn't resonate, and I would be like, who is this quack job speaking? Right? Like, who's talking out of the side of their neck? It's real. Okay? Just because you don't get it doesn't make it not real. And trust me, it's not cool to be dumb. They want you to think that. They want to dumb us down. Look at your food, your air, your water. Look at your education. Look at what kids are being taught. It's sick. It's sick. Okay? So, anyway, I don't want to get too far dark because I want this video to mainly be about people who care. People who are going to stick with you when you're finding all of this out and you're spiraling out of control and you feel like no one has your back. This guy, well, not this guy, that's me, but the guy who got me this shirt, he is my best friend, he is my love, he's my rock, and he goes through this roller coaster with me, and sometimes there's some headbutting, but I'd be ashamed if there wasn't, you know what I mean? And I do have expectations that I throw onto him of what I wish he would have been, right? But if that would have been the case, I wouldn't be me. He has challenged me to be me, and I'm so proud of the me I'm becoming. And I'm so honored to get to like speak my truth to this channel and to get it out there and no longer care about how dumb I'm gonna look to the world, to my community, to my peers, because I get it. I get the mind manipulation they're under. I get the hypnosis we're all under. You can judge me, you can call me a faggot, I don't care. Type whatever you need in your aggressive moment. Okay, let your ego take control. See how that gets you where. You know what I mean? You're going nowhere. The ego is in the driver's seat, people, and mine too. This is why I can say this. I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking past the ego, and I'm speaking right to you. And the reason my channel's not popular is because it's truth. My own friends don't want to watch it. Friends. My own friends. And yet I'm supposed to call them, and I'm supposed to stay in touch, and I'm supposed to check on your fucking babies. Like, fuck you. You don't check on my baby, okay? It's important to me. This stuff is real. The stuff I'm looking into, the stuff that we are talking about on this channel, and the stuff that I admire other people for putting out there into the interwebs, allowing me to grow as a person, and me to be able to figure out and discern whether something is right or wrong, truth or lies. You know, this is real. Is it the Most High or is it Lucifer? That's fucking real. Everything in this plane is inverted. It's gross. Somebody like this standing by me, somebody like my boyfriend, he is the reason I'm okay. He's the reason. He gives me, he's the yin to my yang, or the yang to my yin. I don't know which one. We always talk about it. I learned about the yin yang, and actually a lot of it just resonates with us as a couple, because we found out that he is the white part of the yin-yang symbol with the black center, which represents the sun, which ironically he is also a Leo, so that's, you know, the sun sign. Like, it's a lot of stuff's falling into play and everything's connected. Look into it. Look into astrology. It's crazy. Not in, you know, you have to way. Just get curious about stuff. But the reason he's a dark circle emanating white light is because he gives off light. He is a person who is so genuine and empathetic, and he can compassionately be there for somebody in such a patient way that I just can't do, and I almost envy that of him, because it's incredible to watch. But his circle is dark because he doesn't keep the love for himself inside. He emanates it. Where me, on the flip, okay, I am the light circle because I am taking everybody's light, learning from it, and expanding myself. Okay, do you feel me? So I make my area around me kind of dark, right? And it gives off cold light. It's a different kind of light. It's not darkness. It's not shadow. It's a different kind of light. You have to look at that symbol. That symbol means something. Symbols mean something, okay? And that's just yin yang. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands, okay? Symbology, numerology, it's all real. They're speaking a language we don't understand. You have to learn it. I'm in preschool. Okay, I've been learning it for a year. I'm about to graduate to kindergarten. This stuff's so real. Whenever somebody walks by my window, I get so creeped out. Hello, sunshine. Okay, I'm gonna cut this video. I want to keep it short. But again, shout out to my partner in crime. Thank you for being there for me. It means so much that you just want to ride this ride with me and stick with me. And I'm learning, you know, we have no control over others. And he's his own person, and I appreciate him riding the flow, man, making the decision to stick by my side and not walking away. And there's been times where it would have been easier to walk away. You know, relationships get really tricky. I am not an easy guy to deal with. I know that, okay? I don't think many people who are living in the truth are easy to deal with, and I think it's okay to be a little bit crazy and a little off, because mainstream is crazy and it's off, and we're off track. We got to get back on. And the ones who look like lunatics because they're speaking truth, it's designed that way. So take care of yourself, look inward, take care of others, respect, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.